Okay, good morning. Welcome to
FamilyMath237a.
So today we're going to do another, a second project from this book, Count Like an Egyptian, that Evelyn Lamb recommended, and we had a lot of fun with last time. Do you remember what we did last time?
It was multiplication and division.
Yeah, and that was pretty neat. So today we're going to talk about fractions, and the rules they talk about in the book for the way Egyptians did fractions are pretty interesting. So every fraction for them, every number that's a fraction, instead of writing like 3/4, is going to be equal to like 1 over A plus 1 over B plus 1 over C plus however many you need to write it. So the only fractions that they used were 1/overs. It has to have a 1 on the top. And then the second rule is that none of these can be equal. So you could just say, oh, that's easy. It'd be 1/4 plus 1/4 plus 1/4.
Yeah. But you can do 1/4 plus 1/2.
Right. Right. Or you could do 1/4 plus a half. That way it works. What the book likes to do is have them A, B, C descent or getting larger.
Yeah.
So 1/2 plus 1/4 is an interesting example of how it might work.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, though, I want to show you how they motivate this problem. I'll probably do 2 examples, and I'll have each of you do 1. Okay?
All right.
So they motivate it by talking about sharing bread equally. So if you have, let's say, 3 loaves of bread, to share equally among, let's say, 5 people. Okay, so I've got 1, 2, 3, but I have 5 people. Okay?
Yeah.
5 people. All right. Now, what do you think? What's some ideas you have on how I could share 3 loaves equally among 5 people?
In the Egyptian way, or just regular?
However you want.
Well, you could divide the 3 loaves into 5 equal pieces, so you could get 3/5 of a loaf for every person.
Very good idea. You could just chop every loaf into 5 pieces and give everybody 3/5.
Yep.
Okay, that is absolutely one way to do it. Do you have any other ideas?
Well, you could chop 1 loaf at a time, like into fifths, and then distribute it.
Yep, that's right. That's kind of the same idea. Chop them into fifths. But here is how the book talks about it. So we're trying to do, what is this, 3/5?
Yes.
What we're going to do first is we're going to chop into halves, so that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 halves. So each person gets a half.
With 1 left over.
Okay. Now now when you made your cuts, you had to do 4 cuts on each bit, right?
Yep.
Now I only had to do 3, and I've got it all but a half, right? So what am I going to do with this remaining half here?
Well, you cut that into fifths.
I cut that into fifths. And what fraction would that be if I cut this half into fifths?
That would be 1/10. These pieces would be 1/10.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so a half plus a 1/10. So 3/5 is 1/2 plus 1/10. It's pretty interesting, right? And we can see that if we look at it the way we look at fractions. What would you do to combine a half and a 1/10?
Well, a half is 5/10.
So then you add them, you get 6/10, and then you simplify.
Which is?
3/5.
Okay. We could also look at it in terms of decimals, although that's not always the super easiest way, but this one we could. What is 3/5 as a decimal?
It's 0.6.
What's 1/2?
0.5.
What's 1/10?
0.1.
Okay, so there we go. All right, so would you like me to do one more example?
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah? Okay, let's do that for part B. Oops.